Hi guys, it's National Reading Day and my name is Miguel Antonio Abo. I'm gonna read to you how is a crayon made. Okay, let's start. It's hard to imagine a world without crayons. If all the regular size crayons made in the United States last year were laid to end around the equator, they would circle the globe 4.5 times. Most people have crayons, but how are they made? The first step in making a crayon is the creation of the color, which take place at the color mill. Water and various chemicals are mixed in the big wooden tanks to create the pigments that give crayons their color. Each pigment is made in a separate tank. The tanks are made of wood rather than metal because metal would interfere the chemical reaction that creates the colors. The cakes of color are scraped off the press, broken up by hand, and put into stacked plastic trays. Plastic trays are put into a kiln to dry. They bake for 3 to 4 days, leaving hard chunks of color. The color chunks are sent to blending machines, where they are mixed according to special formulas to create different shades. Next, a machine called a pulverizer. Pulverizer, which is like a meat grinder, grinds the blended colors into a fine powder. The powder is put into bags, weighed, and sent to the crayon manufacturing plant. Into mixing vats inside the plant, now powdery colored pigment is poured into each vat of clear wax. The colored wax was heated to about 240 degrees in Fahrenheit is piped from the mixing vat onto rotary mold tables. The rotary mold table is like a giant muffin tin with thousands of little holes. The wax flows into the giant holes, which are molds for the crayons. Each table has 2,426 molds. While the wax is being poured, a spinning blade prevents bubbles from forming inside the crayons and keeps the consistency smooth and free of lumps. The rotary mold table moves slowly in a circular motion inside the table of our pipes filled with cold water between 40 and 70 degrees, depending upon the color crayon being made. The hot wax is cooled by the water for 4 to 7 minutes again, depending upon the color being made. As the wax cools, it hardens. Excess hardened wax is scraped off the top of the table to be melted later. For reuse, the crayons left inside of the molds are then ejected into a square metal frame with little holes, with one for each crayon. Each hole contains a rod at the bottom. This is the rods. The frame moves away from the table, and the rods push the crayons into an inspection bin. The crayons are checked for broken tips or chipped butt ends damaged. Ones are returned to the mixing vat to be melted or remolded. The crayons are then fed one by one by conveyor belt into a labeling machine. Each rotary table has dual labeling machines for the color being made. Meanwhile, a small number of crayons from each batch have been taken to the quality control lab to be tested. A transverse breaking machine or crayon eater checks the crayons for strength. Electrically operated, the machine consists of a beam that acts like a fulcrum or pulley. It puts different amounts of pressure on the crayons. At different points, if the crayon breaks sooner than it is supposed to the batch from which it came, it is remelted and molded again. Crayons are also tested for intensity of color. Is the red bright crayon red bright enough? It's too pale or too dark. They are even tested for consistency. Does the wax lay down smoothly on the paper? Is it lumpy? Is there a waxy buildup? This is what it looks like. Just as a candy vending machine sorts the different coins you put in and drops your selection, packing machine arranges the crayons into different color assortments. Narrow cardboard boxes called sleeves enter the machine. The machine opens them and put in the color assorted crayons. Another packing machine called a boxing machine puts an assortment of crayon-filled sleeves into crayon boxes like the ones you see in stores. Different machines can box anywhere from 6 to 64 crayons. The finished boxes are then packed and shipped to the warehouse where they loaded onto trucks and delivered to the stores. They are ready to be bought, taken home and used, and the rest is up to you. Bye!